Hey everybody, this is Diane with Crafting with Fury, and I am here with ScrappyShak, and we are so excited. We're going to have a 4-part series on the Sizzix Stamp and Stencil Tool, which is now the Registration Press Tool. And we want to thank Sizzix for their sponsorship of this series, because at the end of the 4-part series they are going to have a prize pack, and we don't know what it is yet, but do we ever know that Sizzix always is very generous with their prizes. So thank you, Sizzix, for sponsoring this 4-part series. And anybody that knows me, that has followed me, I know I've kind of been on some hiatuses here lately, trying really hard to get back into the swing of things, and this is the perfect time to get back in, because this is one of my favorite tools that I use. So let me show you what we're going to start with. Excuse me. So this is the first one. Now, this is the original packaging that they come out with, and this is how long I have had this tool. When they first come out with it, I got it, and let me tell you, I fell in love with it. This says 2023, so I've had this for 3 years and use it almost constantly. So this is going to be your registration tool, and the packaging has been rebranded to look like this, and the accessories that go with it are the Sizzix Studio, and you can get some extra grid paper, which I will open the box up and show you everything that comes in it. And they do make special stencils that I will show you throughout this series that are specific for the registration press tool. But as we all know, we have got tons of other stencils that do not have the holes that is with this tool that keeps your stencils in place. Oh, but wait, Sizzix thought of that. You can get these universal stencil converters that will transform any of the stencils that you currently have, especially like this, the Tim Holtz, all of the other stencils that you may have, that you can use this, that will perfectly fit into this tool. And there's 10 in this pack, and they will last you for a very long time. And with the with the sticky grid sheets, you get 5 sheets, and these sheets will really last you a long time. Now, let's get into the main event, is the registration press tool. And like I said, the packaging is going to look more like this here. So what you get when you first open the box, and once again, the other one is going to look different, where I have kind of like this turquoisey color tool here, the actually holds your stencils. The new ones are going to be gray, but it's the same exact tool, just different. Same but different, different but same. So what you're going to get, you're going to be able to use this as a stenciling tool and also as a stamping tool. And this is going to be your lid that you have, that it's an acrylic lid, and you're going to have a smooth side, and you're going to have, you can hear it, a grid side. Now, when you're stamping, of course, you want to have your stamps on the smooth side. So this comes off, and then you've got this piece here, which is the stencil adapter. And what you can tell that this is well loved. This has got all of these little squares here. The holes here will keep that in place if you want your stencils like that. And this is where the holes from your stencils will go, which we will dive deeper into that here in a little bit. Now, you'll notice up here that you've got these indentions. Our stencils are going to be different. They're going to be different sizes. You may want your stencil over here. You may want to put something over here. This is where this comes in handy, to where you'll always have your stencil in the same place. Like if you want here. And then maybe you want to bring your stencil down here. It's going to hold in place. So once again, we will go more over that later. I'm just kind of giving you an overview. And then you've got a sticky grid that comes with your stencil tool. Excuse me, your registration press tool. And you can tell once again, I have used this. This is it's been used a lot, and you can always take them off and replace them, and it's still got a little bit of sticky on there. So, and what I always do, it does come with like this little piece that I keep on top of my sticky grid to keep it sticky, and it stores perfectly. And then when you're ready to stamp, all you do is put your stamp on there and you use it like that. So guys, are you ready to create? Let me get my supplies and I will be right back. Okay, so the first card I think we're going to do is using one of the smaller stencils that Sizzix has come out with to go with this tool. And I thought, it's springtime, so let's do something a little bit out of my comfort zone and use some lighter colors. And so this stencil is called, I know it's on here somewhere. Cosmopolitan Floral Impressions. And there's actually 4 different layers, and that's what is so good about this tool, is once you set it down, all you have to do is change your stencils out. You do not have to realign, because, okay, let's just be honest, who's got time for that? I don't have time for that. We just don't have time for that. So this is what I'm going to use. And for the stenciling, you do not need your top press plate, so I'm going to move that out of the way. I will need this, and I am going to move this. And of course, what would a series be if we did not have Sookie to jump in? You know how she is. She's always got to come in and make a mess, but that's all right. We love her, and we always want to see her. Now, this grid has been used a lot, but I still feel like it has enough sticky left to hold my paper down. And so this is the card. Let me see if I can get it. Sookie. This is the card that we are going to make. And I thought the colors were so, so pretty. Hi, honey. Everybody sees you. You can't be the center of attention. We got things we got to do. So let's turn around and let's go. There we go. I always hate to do that, but you know, we got to get down to business here. So this is the card we're going to use, or the card that we are going to make with the smaller stencil. And then the next card we're going to make is going to be with the first stencils that they come out with, that you can still get the larger stencils. Love this. Love, love, love. So let's get started. And what I always like to do is I like to start with a bigger sheet of paper than what I'm going to actually need, because you can always cut it down. And Let me just make sure this is still going to be sticky enough. See? It's still sticky. It's going to hold the paper down, so that's perfect. And so let's go ahead and get our stencils out. And you will find with this that when you use these stencils, it looks watercolored. And I want you to look at this. The card looks like I watercolored it. And all that is inks. And I'll show you the inks that I used. It's very relaxing. It is a very therapeutic thing to do. Has been for me. So when you open your stencils specifically from Sizzix, you will notice they're in layers. Now, I know that it's going to be hard to see, but like right on top here, they're numbered. They've got the number, and so you're going to, of course, go 1 through whatever. And so what I like to do is I like to keep the example handy to see exactly which stencil is going to do what colors. And so what we'll do, I think I will love my Sizzix tweezers. Couldn't live without them. All right. And so what I kind of do is decide, you know, where I'm going to start. And what this does is this helps you decide which holes you want to put your stencil holder. And you'll notice on the top, there's holes on the top of the stencil. And there's holes there. And so what you do is you just stamp. You will pop in your stencil. And so there is going to be your first stencil and what we're going to color in first. Now keep in mind, all you're going to do is you're going to, after you do these colors, you're going to take it off. Then you're going to put number 2. Take it off, and number 3. So I have noticed that this stencil is going to do like this color here. And so what I'm going to do is I actually grabbed me some Catherine Pooler Party Collection inks that I'm going to use. And I really liked how these colors turned out, but I want to do this one a little different. So let's do, because you got to keep in mind that your colors are going to kind of overlap some. I don't think I'm going to use the green on that. So let's use, let's use this color, Party Dress. And it's Sookie Hair. It's kind of a pinky color. And so I think what I'll do is I'll use that. And you're just going to color in. And I'm going to kind of go light-handed since it's such a dark color. You can use your blending brushes. You can use, well, I just like using blending brushes. So we're just going to leave it at that. And I think what I'll do is I'll make it a little darker in some places and lighter in the other. And guys, stay tuned. I may have something else to say a little bit later. So stay tuned. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I like that. And so I'll lay my stencil there. And then we're going to come in with number 2. And we're going to make sure that that says number 2, and it does. You're going to be shocked how quickly, and it would probably be a lot faster if I was talking less. So I notice that this here is this color here. So I'm going to do yellow. Glitz. It's called Glitz. It's kind of a yellowy orange color. And it's just going to go over the places that you want. It'll come through. And what I think is so neat about these stencils is everything looks watercolored. And you're just using ink, which I love. I love. We've all got ink we need to use. All right. Whoops, I missed one little spot right there. So I think I got all of those spots. And you can get these colors and everything from ScrappyShak, of course. Look at that. Look how neat. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, what a mess. But wait, there's more. And here is the third stencil. And see, you don't have to line them up. It's already lined up for you. And I think I am going to use the Pixie Dust, which is a beautiful purple. And some places I may go a little heavy-handed. Other places I may do light-handed. But I want this purple to stand out. And it fills in all of those spaces. It's just very relaxing. And you can have a card made within just a couple of minutes. I know the other day when I was kind of working on what I wanted to do, what I wanted to make during this series, I had made this card, sentiment, everything, within minutes. And my husband was like, you did that quick? I said, well, yeah. Sizzix makes it easy for you. So, and there's so many options that you don't have to be limited on your stencils. I'm anxious to see what this one looks like, because some of the colors did overlap some. So I'm anxious to see what that looks like. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I love that. Love it, love it. And then we're going to do our fourth one. And with this small one, it actually comes with sentiments. So the only thing now that we like is this round this round center. And I am still going to use the orange for it. And then I'm going to use black for the sentiment. So pop that in there. Going to use our orange twist. Uh-oh. Got black on that. I'm a messy child. Hopefully it doesn't come up for that. Okay. Love that. And then I'm going to use some Stellar black ink, and I put So Happy For You here, but you know what? I think I want to put Sending Sunshine, because right now I think everybody needs some sunshine in their life. So I'm going to be very careful and not get over on the middle. I really want to be heavy-handed with the black because it's going over those colors. I'm so excited to see how this one turns out. Now, these typically aren't my colors. I normally like the grungies, the browns, the blacks, the patinas, the browns. So I'm trying to do what I preach and say, get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Are you guys ready? Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful that turned out and how quick that was. And so really all we need to do is we need to trim this down and put it on a card base. So let's do that really quick. Let me get my trimmer here. Let's see. Where is my trimmer? Okay. Here's my trimmer. And I'm not going to really even care what size I cut it at. I'm just going to cut it down. So I'm just going to cut it. Nope, too far, that wasn't far enough. Oh, no wonder my blade's not stuck in there. Well, it's come out. All right, I think I got it in there that time. Let's see. Yep, we got it in there that time. Don't like that, so I'm going to do a little bit more. Still got a little sticky on it. Let's see. Perfect. And then I'm going to... Okay, people. The struggle's real. It's still got a little bit of that sticky on there. So you can tell how much that sticky is really sticky. Okay. And then I'm going to trim that down. And you can always cut it to size before you do your stenciling, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that. Look how beautiful that turned out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I think what I'm going to do, just to give it a little depth, I'm one of these that really, no matter what color it is, I like to outline it in black. It just seems to give it a little something something and break it up. Don't want a lot, just a little. If I get a lot, oh well. I'm one of those, there's no mistakes in crafting. There is just uniqueness. I love that. And I went ahead and cut a card base. And we are going to use our glue press here and going to glue it down. I'm probably about out of glue. I've used it so much. Yeah, it's about out of glue. I'm going to have to fill this baby up. All right. And so I'm going to put that down. How quick was that? And so there is our card. Look how beautiful and how quick that is. And I mean, to give that to somebody, I think they would have thought you spent hours and hours and hours on it. So let me get cleaned up and then we will start with one of the larger stencils. Okay, so when they first came out with the Stampin' Stencil tool, which is now the Registration Press tool, these were the stencils that they come out with, and they were pretty large. They're like 6 by 6 inches. And a lot of people were like, you know, a lot of us don't make 6 by 6 cards. Some of us make, you know, your normal, these size here. So that's why they came out with the 5 1/4 by 8 inch stencils, and you can make smaller cards. And this was the first one that I ever did. The first one I fell in love with because I love butterflies. They mean a lot to me. And this is what made me fall in love with this system. And so I thought, yes, I'm definitely doing this one to show you how to use the bigger stencils. And this one is called the butterfly. And this is what I made. And I'll tell you a little secret. When I was cutting this down, my blade was dull, and it ripped my paper, and I had already done it, and I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I thought, I'm going to do a lot of rips, and I'm going to rip the paper and rip the paper and make it part of the mat and the seam. And I thought that really gave it a little something something. And I love the way that turned out. And so we are going to recreate this card. I may do a little different colors. You never know. But this is what we're going to use. And these stencils are the same. There are 4 stencils. They're going to work the same way. I like to keep that handy. And we're actually going to use some stamps on this one because this one doesn't come with a sentiment. And when they first come out with this, see, this is back from these stamps are from 2021. And it's actually got the butterfly up here. And these go perfectly. And there's tons and tons of these bigger stamps. Or the stencils. You could use these on your journal pages. You can use them on making scrapbook layouts. It doesn't just have to be cards. It can be anything. And so we're going to stamp with this too. And they have tons of these awesome, awesome stamps. So we're going to do the butterfly. And I cut me out, let's see, a little bit bigger than 6 by 6 because I want to be able to cut it down. So I'm going to, and the grid paper that I didn't mention is easy to line everything up. And then I'm going to put this, let's try, that's not going to be, I need it there, but it's going there. So I need to move my paper just a little bit so it will be even. Even. All right, so we're going to do that. All right, and it's just like the same, the others. They have numbers on the top, and what you can do is you could actually, and I know a lot of people do this, they'll put like black ink over that so it's easier to see. And I'll do that, so these are easier to see. And so now you can see the numbers better. Okay, so we're going to start with stencil 1, and we're going to lay it down. Make sure my paper's perfect. And as you can see, this is going to be your background. And I did green there. And I think, let's see, let's use, I think I'll do like they did. I like the yellow. So let's use the glitz, and I'm going to use the same colors that I did before. Okay. So we're going to, this is more of a kind of a yellowy orangey color, which I love. So let's hurry and get this done. Go kind of heavy in one spot and lighter in the other. Did we get all of it? The good thing about it is if you forget something, you can pop it right back down and it's going to be in the same place. I think we got all of that. Perfect. So let's lift this up. So there's our first one. And then here is our second one, which is actually going to be the butterfly. And so it's going to be this whole color right here. Excuse me. And so I really want, because you're going to have other colors over it. So let's do, hi Silky. Let's do, you know what? Let's do green. She has to make an appearance. You know how that is. So let's do a green butterfly. And I'm going to do very lightly on this because we're going to put so many different colors on this. We're going to come up with a brand new butterfly color here. And that's what's so good about this. Sky's the limit, guys. Sky is the limit. Okay. So there's our second color. How relaxing. It'd probably be more relaxing if I wasn't talking. But you know me. We got to get her done. Okay. So this is going to be stencil 3. And it's going to be these here. And you know what? I want to do black with those. I think I want to make those black. So here I did orange with all of those, and I kind of did black over that, but I think I'm going to use black on these. Okay. I'm going to be kind of heavy-handed on this. I want the black to really show. And we about got this one done. And when, you know, guys, we're on our third stencil. There's 4 stencils, and we've about got it done. Let's make it a little bit darker. Okay. And when you take it off, you can look and see. And it does not look dark enough to me, so I'm going to do a little more. Because I want it to be dark. And I do hold my stencil down some places, because some of these places the stencil may move because of the delicate little details on them. All right, let's see how that looks. I want it to be pretty dark. That's much better. And I see that it's smudged here, but you know what? Don't care. We can work with that. All right. So our very last stencil is stencil 4. And you're actually going to be doing another color over this. And I think I'm going to do purple. Let's see how that looks. We're going to do some purple. And this is pixie dust. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, we've got a winner. And you notice that a lot of the way these stencils are, which that purple's not going to show over the black. Hadn't thought of that, but it'd be alright. And that's one thing that you do think about is when you're layering, you want your lightest colors on the bottom. That way you can keep building and keep building. And I'm thinking I'm gonna like this. Let's look and see. Oh my gosh, look at that. I love that. Now, this right here, I'm not as happy with. So, I may try to, I'm not as happy with that, but, you know, I can use some spritz. I can use some Catherine Pooler shimmer, and I think I might do that. I love the way that butterfly looks. Now, here is the cool part. We need a sentiment. We're going to take away the stencil adapter. We are going to pick a sentiment. And Finding Your Wings to Fly is what I used last time. I'm going to use, and you can tell these have been well loved. I think I'm going to use Collect Beautiful Moments. And it leaves you a perfect place to put this. And I think I want to put it there. And so you're going to get your acrylic top press lid. Make sure that the gridded part is on top because your stamp will not stick to that. You want the smooth side. And you're going to, kind of like an all-in-one tool, it's going to pick your stamp up. You will ink it. I'm going to ink it in black. I do not want ink there. Let me find something to get that off with. All right. And then what we're going to do is we are going to press. And I didn't press it well enough, as you can see right here. But guess what? Does not matter. Don't have to worry about repositioning and worry about doubling up and messing up your whole project at the very end, because it's going to go back exactly where it was. Let me press a little harder. I really need my it's still not good enough. And so I really need my press tool that I have. And it's just me. It's just me not being able to put enough pressure on it. And I'm going to do it again. One more time. And what I grabbed was my Stampendable, and I should have done that to start with. I want you to look how beautiful that came out. And I still want a little bit darker. because I always like my sentiments very crisp. So let's just do it one more time. Use your Stampendable. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that turned out. Clean off my stamp. And now what we're going to do is we are going to, you know what? I said I was going to do maybe some shimmer. And I do think we need some. So let's do some, ooh, I got an idea. And this is what you can use, any kind of shimmer that you may have. Use it as paint, or use it to give some splatters. And I have a paintbrush here somewhere. I know I do. That I got there it is. Specifically for this. And I think what I'll do is I'll do a little shimmer in the green parts. Just kind of paint it. And that'll just make the green highlight a little bit more. As we know, our butterflies, and I think that'll kind of help with that, and it did. Our butterflies are beautiful. And we want to just give them a little something, something. And I'll show you close up the shimmer. And don't think with shimmers that you just have to spray or spritz. You can watercolor with them. Oh, love that. Love that, love that. And what we can do is, let's use the orange twist. And I think I'm going to use this to splatter with, because I think a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Love that. Get a little bit more. Just a little bit of something, something. A little bit of shine. And you know what? Ah, let's just go all out. Let's just do a little bit of the Lime Ricky here. We're just going to use a little. That's what's fun about this stuff. You can just make it your own. There we go. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. All right. And guys, all we have to do now is put that on a card base. We're going to cut it down. And I'm going to show you what I did when I ripped the page. Because just because maybe your blade ripped your card base or your card here doesn't mean that you need to start all over, because no, there's no way. So I'm just going to cut this down just a little bit. Okay. And cut it down just a little bit. Okay. cut it down. And cut it down. Let me see my card base here. I think that'll be perfect. Nope, need to cut down a little bit more. So let's cut, because we want the black to show. Let's cut a little bit of this off. I think we need to cut a little bit of that more off, don't you? Yeah, so let's cut that off. Just a smidgen. Okay. Now, say that your paper, say your paper ripped right there. Okay, and you're like, oh man, now what do I do? So what you do, it's very simple. Rip a piece there, rip a piece there. Just have fun. Rip it there. Rip a little piece there. And let's rip another little piece right there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go in with an ink. Now, with this one, I did black. I wonder what it would look like if we used party dress. Let's do a little experiment here. Or maybe orange. No, let's do the orange twist. I think that will go a little better. And when you use ink where you've ripped the paper, it goes into, yeah, that's what we needed to do. And just go around here, and it's like, man, that one really, you ripped that one good. But you know what? It gives it character. It's different. And we want different. And I want you to look what that ends up looking like on a different color card base. So let's go ahead and use our ink. Okay. And let's go ahead and center it the best we can. I mean, oh my gosh, I love it. Look how collect beautiful moments. And look how where the paper is ripped and you've got the black background, how different that makes it look. It gives it more something. So we made these, and we have made these, and now what we're going to do is we are going to make either, let's see, either a card or a tag. We may do a tag with stencils and stamps, and to show you how easy it will be to use the stencils that you currently have. So let me clean up and I will be okay. Excuse me. So we're right at the end, and I'm going to show you how you can use any other stencil that is not the ones that Sizzix has that has the holes in it. And this is where you're going to be using your universal stencil converter. And so I know we all have tons of Tim Holtz stencils, may have all other kinds, and it's like, well, why would I need this tool if I can't use what I've got too? Well, Sizzix, once again, they thought about that. And what I did with this one, I went totally steampunk, and I used this stencil. And I actually, and I'm going to give you guys a better look at this, the Sizzix Studio Layered Stencils and Stamp Set. in maybe video 3. And you can use this with a accessory to this. And guys, if you have made it this far, in order to be in the giveaway, we have to have a secret word. And what I need for you to do is, if you're watching this on my channel, I have turned the comments off. But what you need to do is you need to go over to ScrappyShak, I cannot talk, ScrappyShak's YouTube channel, and leave a comment. And we need to make it a word that, in order to get into the drawing, you do have to be a subscriber to ScrappyShak's YouTube channel, along with mine, Crafting with Fury. And let's make this, put this word in your comment section, but don't make it so obvious that everybody knows. So let's make this word, let's make it colorful. So in your comments over on ScrappyShak, put in the word colorful, and that will get you into the drawing for the wonderful package that Sizzix is coming up with. And so I need to write that down so I don't forget. So go over to ScrappyShak on this video, and in your comments put colorful. Perfect. And so that's going to be in every video. And that way you can be, once again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Sizzix always is so wonderful with their prize packages. And I want to thank them again for sponsoring this video series. So, of course, this is my style. I love this. Steampunk all the way. Love it, love it, love it. But may use brighter colors on this other one. So this is what I used, and like I said, stay tuned for the next video that's going to show that. So let me show you how awesome it is that you can still use your other stencils that you have got. And even Sizzix has a bunch of stencils they've put out that doesn't have the holes in it. But once again, you can use the adapter. You get 10 adapters in here, and I went ahead and kind of just split the bottom open here. You get 10 adapters. I'm going to set this aside. And what this is, as you can see, look at my fingers. I've had fun. There is a piece of, oh, I've got 2. We don't need 2. We need 1. And you can use it over and over and over and over again. And what it is, it's got a little strip here. And it's got a little sticky strip that you put on your stencil, and it works perfectly with the adapter here. So we're going to do another tag, and I have grabbed some butterflies from an old stamp set that they've had, and this is for you, Barbie. And I thought, I don't know, I may use the bubbles. Let's use the bubbles. I couldn't make my mind up. Let's use the bubbles. So no matter... Okay. So no matter what size of stencil you've got, this tool is for you. So what you would do is you would take the sticky side down and lay it on your stencil, like so. And what this does is this makes this usable with the adapter. See? Ta-da! Perfect! Ta-da! Okay. Enough ta-da! No, I had to do it one more time. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down first, and my sticky paper is starting to, I've used it so much, but I think we can get one more out of it. And I think I want to use a really light color. Let's see. Let me get my distressed here. I want to use a light color. I think what we'll use is Tattered Rose, Distress. And you know what? Okay, I'm not happy with this. So we are going to change sticky grids. I think I could have got one more out of it, but because we've got other things we've got to do. So this comes with 5 extra. And you can see that I have not opened this yet. Not good at opening stuff. May edit this out, may not, because this is just me. All right. So this is going to be what your grid looks like. And it's going to have a top layer. Come on. You're going to have a top layer of where your sticky is, and you're going to have a bottom layer that's sticky also that will stick on your platform. So what we're going to do, I want it as straight as possible. I'm going to not take the whole backing off to start with. Line it up. Pull this backing off. Perfect. And so there we go. There is our new sticky grid. And we are going to pull off the top sticky. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And so keep this, because this will keep your sticky grid stickier longer. How many times in one video can you say sticky? A ton. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that down. See, that sticks a lot better. And I want to do a light blending, and I'm going to do Tattered Rose. Just to give it a little something, something. Because I want a light background. Because I want the butterflies. I'm going to stamp butterflies at the end. And your blending doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to go over it. And I just want a light color. Okay. So this is where your stencil adapter is going to come in handy. I want sticking down. That's some sticky grid. So I think I can do it that far up. Nope, I want it a little further down. May have to move my... And that's what's so neat about this. It's so versatile. You can keep playing and playing and playing until you get it right where you want it. All right, so that makes it easier. And I want perfect. And with these smaller ones, this is actually going to hold your stencil down too. And I think I want to use my Salvage Patina and do as bubbles. Let's see what that's going to look like. Make sure I'm going to like it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Gorgeous. And so we're going to go all over this. I think salvage patina is one of my favoriteest. And it just, this tool makes everything so much easier. You don't have to reach for this. You don't have to reach for that. You've got it all in one handy tool. May want it a little darker there. Let's see what it looks like before we take everything off. Oh, yeah. Love that. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. Beautiful background. And here's the neat thing. It just comes off. Do not throw away your little sticky piece. You put it back on there. And you put it right back in your packaging. Ready to use. Ready to use for the next one. All right. So let's decide how we're going to do this. And honestly, there's a little flower. Here's a little butterfly. I'm going to have that butterfly there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them in black, because I'm going to do me. Let's see. Let's have this moth coming in right there, and have this one coming in right there. And let's start there. All right. So make sure your gritty side is up. And we're going to stamp. Because I just, you know, I like to experiment. And it's neat to see that anything goes in crafting. Anything goes, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be so-so. I mean, I just feel like everything that you make is gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. I love it. 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 All right, so let's get the ink off of the stamps. I'm very weird about that. And with the background, it's just perfect. And with this stamp set, you have flowers. And so let's do one off the grid there. I really need to decide of a sentiment, don't I? Yes, we do. I'm one of them that you always have to have a sentiment. And we will find a sentiment here in a minute. Wherever. All right, found one. I'm going to say, let your dreams take flight. And this is actually from the same set we used with the other card. So see, with a set, you get a lot of use. All right, let your dreams take flight. And that's going to be, let's see, might be too big. Maybe I should have decided to do that. Nope, I want it there. Put a flower there. A little flower here. And let's put a flower there. And do we need another little butterfly? Of course we do. And that one can go right here. Nope. 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 We'll have this one going this way. All right. So, all right. So let's see what we got here. Okay. So let's do some different colors here. Let's do a purple here. Let's do a pink here. Let's do an orange here. And let's do black with the butterfly. And then the sentiment. Okay. So let me get all that extra ink off there. I don't think it'll touch the project, but there again, you know, you don't want to take the chances. All right. So let's see what we got. I mean, how fun is this? Oh, yes. Look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all of these and do my sentiment again. And I may add a different color to it. Let's do that. Let's take that and let's just do a brown. Let's do it. I feel like there's no rules. No rules. And let's see what that does. Keep dreaming. Love that. Need to get that cleaned off. Let's try it one more time. I think I'll do that. Let your dreams take flight. Perfect. Love it. There you go, guys. And see, what you could do is do some splattering, because it does look like it needs a little something there, a little something. So let's do some splattering, and we're going to use pixie dust. And see, you can use your acrylic lid for multi-purpose. All right. See what we got going on here. Oh yeah. We may actually do a couple of different splatters. Some brighter splatters. Love it. Let's do green. And this one's called Lime Ricky. I think this one's going to show up better. Oh yeah. How pretty is that? And see, you could even, like if you wanted to, you could color in some of the butterfly with this. If you wanted to. All right. You know what? I think we got her done. So let's get this off and let's take a look. There you go. Let your dreams take flight. So let's look at what we've done with this awesome registration press tool. Always stick your paper back on the top so it keeps it sticky. And of course, this lays right in here, which is your stencil holder. And then this is your stencil lid. And it absolutely stores beautifully. So here is using the universal stencil converter. You can use any of your stencils. I absolutely love the way these turned out. It is crazy, it's wild, and it is just so me. So you can use any of your stencils. That's that. Then we used the layer stencil, stamp, and stencil on the tag, which we're going to use this again more in depth later on. And then we used stamps, which I got to put all them together. Then, of course, we used the 6x6 stencil, and we made 2 beautiful cards. Love them. And then we used the smaller stencils that are the 5 1/4 by 8. And then that's what we made there. So guys, thank you so much for spending time with me. And I hope that you get as much enjoyment out of this tool as I do. And remember, your secret word is colorful. So go over, if you're watching this on my channel, go over to ScrappyShak and leave a comment on the video. And we will have, once again, 4 videos. And at the very end, Sizzix is sponsored, and they're going to give away a awesome prize pack. So thank you guys very much for watching, and we will see you in the next video of this series.